The reflections on tonight.
I thought we had a poor first half and a very good second half without the extra little bit of quality that you need to score a couple of goals. But we certainly had the ball in there. The boys picked it up a little bit. We made a couple of changes. Went with one less at the back and two more forward. And I thought we was unlucky not to get something back. And obviously Bart's chance was unbelievable in the last minute there, and he did well when he come on, as I thought some of them did do. But in the second half especially, first half, we know that one striker sometimes mucks us up. It was Kindy last week and Akinfenwa this week. So we got to be aware of that. Just a little bit of cleverness, and that's what he does. And then I felt there should have been at least 10 minutes extra time at the end of the game, and we would have had a bit more time to maybe have a couple more chances, because there were 6 subs. The referee never booked any one of theirs. I don't necessarily want players being booked, but the crowd had come for a game, and it was a little bit slow and dead because they took a long time over throw-ins, free kicks, which is good from their point of view tactically. But the refs, he's got to see that. I mean, Brownie had the ball probably for more than some of his players, and he's a great goalie and a good lad, and he's very clever and experienced, and they see the game out, even though we put them under a little bit of pressure. There was a lot of gaps in between.
And from your viewpoint, best laid plans, third game in a row, a very early goal against.
Yeah, I mean that's what I just said in the dressing room. We can't keep being a goal behind and then trying to get it back. We did try, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But of course you say that, come on lads, let's stay in the game, but people are people and football's football, and of course the one lad's, what he does well is where he puts his arm in your back and moves you, and that's what he done to us, and set up a good goal by the lad who come in and supported him.
You've talked many weeks now about quality, and again you've mentioned it tonight in the final third. Is that a fair summary of what was happening?
I think so. I think there wasn't enough real shots. We got the ball in there a lot, but we got to make sure that we have somebody that can pick it up, drop his shoulder and shoot, and be that sort of sharp, or somebody that goes past a couple of people and sets somebody up for an open goal or an easy goal. The only open goal we had was Bart's right at the end, and that was an open goal. But we did have other half opportunities, but we got to create a lot more opportunities than we're doing at the moment, even though the energy was good in the second half. The boys ain't giving up, and they've never given up. They've always shown that sort of spirit, but it's the quality that has to come out that proves what the level that you're at.
And is that reflected in the percentage of goals this season probably that have come from set plays?
Yeah, probably. It just means we know we have to work hard on set plays, because that's a good opportunity for us. But they had 2 big lads in the centre, at centre half, 2 very athletic lads, and we didn't really get as much as we normally do from set plays. So credit to them again. But that's why they're like in the playoff positions at the minute. Gareth's had 3 or 4 years now to get that team together, and he's done very well with it. And he's got people that he trusts and knows out there, and that's why they're doing well this year. So give me another 3 years, and we'll be doing the same. But hopefully it'll be sooner.
It was sort of billed as the last hurrah of the champions. I'm sure very disappointed players in the dressing room. Is there more emotion tonight than usual because of the fact that people know, changes are now absolutely going to happen?
Well, they know people have been training with us, so they know changes are going to will happen. But you would expect them to want to be part of those changes. I'm not going to change the whole 11. So of course there'll be some that will keep their places, and some will be on the bench fighting for a place, of course. And that's what I want. I want good competition. If they're shrinking violets and already got their chins on the floor because they think they're on their way, then we don't want them anyway, because they're not the fighters. I'm looking for the fighters now, and to be honest with you, I thought we fought today. best we thought. We give it a go, and supporters got behind the second half when we gave them something to support. And we was unlucky a few times, just looking at the 15 chances, I think, or 12 chances in the second half that we had.
You said yesterday that you were 99% confident of having 3 new faces available for Colchester. Is that still the case?
Well, it's still the case as we speak, that the transfer windows all throw up all different bits and pieces, and so when it all dies down a little bit, I'll be able to tell you the circumstances behind quite a few little bits and pieces we did, and so at the moment you're gonna have to wait for the day when you start seeing people come in, because I say so much, and we're the only club actually that speculates as much as we do, to throw things out there. We don't report the news, we report what might be the news, and also that affects sometimes other things that are going on out there. People know, and I think we've got a mole in the camp, and I ain't happy with that, because that don't help, because I don't know how else newspapers get information from us, so I'm going to have to find out who that is before we seriously move on, because that's dangerous now. That's become dangerous, because there's, it's not right. It's not right, and so I'm happy to tell you that, because if I make it public, maybe the mole will go away or go back under the ground and sleep for the winter.
Have any of the leaks cost you any deals?
I'm not going to tell you that yet. I will tell you that on another day.
The transfer window obviously is slightly different this year because there's no emergency loans after the end of January. Does that affect how you approach it?
Yeah, of course it does. January becomes a massive. I mean, we've had a big meeting today, myself, Pete, Russell, the chairman of the board, and we've had a real positive meeting about what we need and what we might need to bring in, and like always, they're backing us. But you could have 2 million to spend, but the player you spend 2 million on probably is not going to want to come to Cheltenham at this moment in time. So it's all horses for courses, but we're working very hard, and I know the team I'll end up with by the end of January will be a lot more competitive. That's what I believe, and I want these to be excited about that they could be playing with players that are going to be good players in the future, and that'd be good for some of these that have earned their stripes here.
If you were making the rules, would you have changed the rules about the transfer window? Would you have said, right, there's only 1 month to do deals, or would you have kept it as it was?
Well, no one's going to listen to me as an individual, and I think the rules are where they are, and we got to adapt to them. But it means that you've got to make sure that in January you've got enough players to see you through the season, and enough quality players as well, and that's what we've got to do, and that's what we're going to try very hard to do. I don't think we need a whole team. I think we need 4 or 5, and to just give it a freshness. We need to freshen it up a bit.
Gary, thanks so much.
No problem.
Are Wycombe the blueprint of what you're after? Sort of stronger, a bit more athletic, a bit more quality on the ball?
Yeah, I think so. But you look at the big fella over there. Look,
I'm coming to say about you doing the interview.
Well, mate, no problem. Well done, Dave. All the best, mate.
You too, mate. I'll keep doing what you're doing, man.
You deserve something. Thank you. Well done. All the best. Yeah, so these are players I work with at this level, and they've been very good at this level for many years. And I know what's needed, and you just have to grab it when it becomes available.
You mentioned yesterday that you were going to almost pin up a new table for the new year. Is it a case now that you forget 2016, 2017 is almost a clean slate?
No, I'm not going to forget it. Of course I'm not. But what you need is to give the new group that feeling of, let's see where this group might have been, before then. And again, it'll involve many of them that are in there, but we're just going to add as much quality as we can to it. So, no, we mustn't forget 2016, I've told you, because it was a great year for us. We're going through a poor patch, but I've got to get them up for the game at Colchester in 2 days' time. So I've told them to keep their heads up, because what they did today, especially in the second half, was they gave energy and they gave a bit of spirit. And actually, when they do, their quality comes out a little bit more outside the box, but we've got to get a bit more quality inside the box.
Before the game, you apparently having one-on-ones with some players. Was that to start the process of saying who is?
No, I wouldn't do that before a game. No.
But one's outside of the squad.
By the way, I'm getting rid of you now. Give me everything out there, like, you know what I mean. I don't think that's going to happen. But no, I was having 1v1s on their game and what I expected, and talking to the centre halves about what Bayo might do to them, because I know what he does well. And knowing their game and the spirit that Gareth puts into them, I knew that what I had to tell them. Now, he didn't quite do it in the first half, but they did it in the second half.
When do the conversations start to happen then with those you don't want, or are you happy to keep everybody if they want to stick around?
I think the minute people start coming in, then people will realise that that's the time when I need to say to people that probably you're not going to get first team games. There won't be many now, because if you go through the list that I already know, there's probably already 7 or 8 players that have more or less already gone or been told. A lot of them had a loan sort of thing, and so that's where we are. So I'm not going to decimate everybody's feelings or the squad or anything, but as people come in, then obviously it puts some people further down the pecking order, and some might have to try and pass who's new to get first team games.
Finally, have you made a decision on Rob Dickie and Russell Griffiths, the 2 loans that have been involved?
Well,
regularly?
Well, again, this is what happens when this speculation arrives. It upsets people that you got in the team. I know newspaper and that don't really care about that. It's because you want to sell newspapers, but if they do want to stay, and the players that do want to stay, and if they hear names too early before, we got another game that they've all got to play in, and they're all available for the loans. So you don't want to be saying to them, you're not in my plans, but come and give me one last really good game. You know what I mean? I think you'd probably get. No, I was going to say the 2 fingers, but I won't say that. But because I won't be that rude. But I can't see them giving you everything if you say that. But listen, that's life, isn't it? And we're having to deal with that at the moment. But yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Right.
Thank you, Gary.